What's going on, guys? Derek Benasco here with Impact Real Estate, hoping to continue the series on the 7 steps to buying a home with step number 6, the appraisal period. Let's jump right in. So the appraisal period is only for any type of sales that are using financing through a lender. It's not for cash sales. So what does an appraisal period look like? Well, once you get past the inspection period, the lender is going to want to have an appraiser go out to the property to assess its value to see if it's going to actually hit the value at which you're trying to purchase the home for. So if you have an accepted offer and a sales price of, let's say, $350,000, the appraiser is going to go out there just to double check and make sure that that home, based off the market conditions and current comps on the market, can actually hit that number. And then they're also going to be looking for other specific things in the home as well. So they're going to be looking for any safety or hazardous related items. Those are the things they're going to be looking for as well. But it is not a home inspection. So don't get those two confused. A home inspection is one thing and the appraisal is another thing. And so when the appraiser goes out to the property, depending on the loan type, is going to depend on what all or how strictly they are going to view this process and all the criteria they must meet in order to satisfy the lender. And so let's talk about that for a little bit. If you have a USDA loan, an FHA loan, or a VA loan, those are all going to be those are going to have more strict variables that the appraiser is going to look at in order to satisfy lenders versus, let's just say, like a conventional loan type. And so what does that look like? What are the differences there? So on the FHA, the USDA, or the VA appraisal, they're going to the appraiser is going to come out. They're going to be more concerned about poking their head inside of a foundation, inside of a crawl space, or up in the attic, and or the outbuildings on the property could matter as well. And so depending on, now this is also dependent upon the location in which you live and also your state guidelines and everything, but at least for here, those are the things that they look for that's going to be different than a conventional loan appraisal. On the conventional loan appraisal, they're making sure that everything is satisfied, and really all of these different appraisal types with the different loan types, all of them are going to look for things such as a carbon monoxide detector, smoke alarms, make sure that they're within 10 years depending on state guidelines and where you're at, or newer. They're going to make sure that the hot water tank is double strapped if you live in an earthquake zone. It's all going to depend on things like that. Is there peeling or chipping paint on the property? That would need to be addressed. Are there broken windows? That would need to be addressed. Is the roof in such bad condition that the appraiser can look at it from the ground and say, yeah, it needs to be replaced? Those are all things that could actually hang up the home purchase depending on what the appraiser reports back to the lender. So, for example, we've had it happen before where the roof was a condition that the lender said, hey, this has to be fixed in order for the bank to loan on it and in order for you to close on the property. Well, the good thing is your agent should be able to work their magic and have wonderful resources around them to save you thousands of dollars and to save you in times like these. Because I do not want anyone to ever get all the way through these steps to get something hung up on an appraisal. So we put things in place to take care of you during this time. We have local resources that will actually take care of needed repairs while it's inside of a transaction and then get paid out of escrow. So after it closes, if the buyers are struggling, maybe they don't have a lot of money up front, or maybe the seller doesn't have a lot of money up front. These are just creative ways that we can negotiate to make it a win-win for all clients, get this thing to the finish line, and get our buyers in the home they love with a great peace of mind, knowing that it's well taken care of. So these are all the things that an appraiser is going to look for during the appraisal period. The appraisal can either be completely clean and you're moving towards finish, or it can have conditions like we just mentioned. Maybe a roof needs to be fixed, maybe a window, smoke detector, all sorts of these other items that need to be fixed prior to the lender saying, yep, you're clear to close. Or there's sometimes, guys, in a hot market, the appraisal can come back way low off of that sales price. Let's take that 350 example. If the appraiser goes out and based on comps cannot justify that home based off the comps in that area is worth 350, let's say it comes in at 320. What does that look like for a buyer? Well, you actually may have to split that difference and bring more money to the table. That's right. You could be on the hook for $30,000. Or we negotiate that with the seller to come down to that price because the bank isn't going to lend on anything above that price. Or the other thing is to split the cost between both parties. And if nothing can come to terms on either of those options, you might have to walk away, and that's the unfortunate reality. So we do the best job that we can to make sure that we run comparables on all properties that our buyer is going to be searching for and putting an offer on, so that when the appraisal period comes up, this does not become an issue. Or we have that discussion up front to say, hey, we might face this in this market, in this location. But either which way, we do due diligence to make sure that we over-communicate that with clients. So hopefully that shores up any misinformation or anything that you had questions about on an appraisal period and what that actually looks like. If you have any more questions, put them in the comments. I will respond to them. I'd be happy to help. I hope you guys have an impactful day. Thanks for watching. We're one step away, guys. Stay with us. We have one more video to conclude this video series on how to purchase a home. Subscribe, like the button, give us a thumbs up, and have a great day.